Today I'll be discussing why the United States needs to cut off foreign and military aid to all countries. How many of you have ever held $5,000? About 10,000? 20,000? Well, according to the Frontier Star in Pakistan, since 2002 the United States has supplied more than $16 billion in aid to Pakistan, making it the largest recipient of foreign aid from America in history. Specifically, I would like to discuss what foreign and military aid are, what it consists of, and how it negatively affects the giving and receiving country, and why it needs to be stopped. Firstly, I'll be discussing what foreign aid and military aid are. According to the Pakistan Observer, foreign aid is the international transfer of capital, goods, and services in the form of grants and loans. The idea of foreign aid was conceived as a product of the post-World War II era. Its main purpose was to help European countries rebuild after a very devastating war. After the war, Germany was in ruins, and America supplied them with foreign aid. According to Chase Mayer of the Huffington Post, military aid is identical to foreign aid. The largest difference is money. Where money was spent on collaborative military research and joint training sessions instead of being directly supplied to the government. Military aid also consists of anything from tear gas canisters, F-16 jets, also to troops on the ground. Overall, the United States covers nearly 1/4 of Israel's defense budget. Secondly, I would like to discuss how foreign aid negatively affects the giving and receiving country. Though America has led the charge for foreign aid in Europe and the Middle East, there has been no recorded evidence that the U.S. has improved growth rate or solved problems. Despite receiving an enormous amount of aid, Pakistan has been unsuccessful in reaching the stage of a self-sustaining economy. In regards to this, foreign aid only discourages from learning and correcting from their mistakes. They essentially become reliant on aid given to them because they know they will keep receiving it. It's similar to welfare in this country, where you have large areas of America, like today in Baltimore, where we have a suburb of people who nearly 50% of them are unemployed and are drawing welfare, and they have no incentive to better themselves because they're reliant upon that welfare, and so they just sit at home, receive the check, and nothing ever changes. The foreign is below 1%. Foreign aid is below 1% of the U.S. federal budget, according to the National Priorities Project. Around $23 billion will contribute to foreign aid, and in total $37 billion if you add in military aid. Even though the United States continues to fund foreign countries, we aren't even guaranteed to receive this money back in any way, shape, or form. And the way that this aid works, we're not even guaranteed that we'll receive a return economically. These are all reasons on why foreign aid negatively affects the giving and receiving country. Lastly, I will tell you why foreign aid needs to be stopped. In high school, I took a government and economics class my senior year. My teacher was possibly one of the most intelligent men that I've ever met, and he always told us there is no such thing as good and bad in economics. It is what it is. It's merely up for us to decide if giving out billions of tax dollars to a foreign country is worthwhile. In other words, the United States is funding other countries with American tax money that could be used for unlimited possibilities. With money saved on foreign aid, our communities could be improved by employing more teachers, police officers, firefighters, and it could potentially supply years of health care coverage. Not to mention, this money could also be used to start paying back the debt, which is almost $18 trillion. It could also be used, something that has come up a lot lately, as far as schooling for kids coming out of high school, and supplying tuition for them to go to community college for 2 years. All this money, while it may seem small, could really add up if it was cut out. So in conclusion, I have discussed with you why foreign aid should be cut off. Specifically, I've talked about what foreign and military aid are, the negative effects they have on the giving and receiving country, and why it needs to be stopped. Hopefully I have enlightened you all on a very important matter in my eyes to stand against foreign aid.